Finnerty giving him a little too much room to roll the net. The Devils still with possession down low and looking quite comfortable with that possession. Still doing what they want. Finnerty's going to win this battle, and he has. He's been able to draw a penalty, and there's the old, well, it's Kenton Smith batting that down with a little bit of intention as well, trying to go to the open goal, but I could see it coming. And Ryan Finnerty was able to outwork Trevor Reed, and Trevor Reed was just too, well, he was just too comfortable, I thought. And Weller, who gets it blocked by Silverthorne, and Kalmakoff will see that one down the ice. Oh, wow! And you saw it, and you could see it developing, and Kalmakoff throws an absolute hope Hail Mary down the ice, and it bounces up and over Stevie Lyle, and you won't see that too often. Wow. Kalmakoff opens the scoring on what is a complete anomaly in the game of ice hockey. He tried to there with the opening goal. Finnerty gets slashed in front, and Finnerty's going to take exception. They should go, and they're going to go. If they drop the gloves, he'll take them on, and he doesn't get the clearance. And Finnerty trying to bring about the penalty against Duel in front, and Duel with a pretty heavy-duty hack on the back of the legs of Ryan Finnerty. And there was certainly one penalty coming up to the Stingrays, and I would suspect if Darnell was, well, fair about his assessment of that play, he could have equally have called one against Duel, and working, trying to get possession. Devils are trying to just outwork these Stingrays. They can't. Hell's having his stick held, and finally they've had a penalty drawn. And Duel wasn't content to have his own stick. He wanted Phil Hill's as well, and he had his hands all over it. And Tyler Michel, with 30 seconds remaining, line changes for both sides. He'll start this up. Phil Hill touches it back, and Michel is past the first man. And normally he gets a real head of steam. He's still going. He's through in his daylight. Drags it down. How do they not score? And Phil Hill ends up doing a car crash into the post, knocking the net off, and it would have been a gift of a goal for Phil Hill if he's ready, or Ryan Finnerty, who had the second chance. And the Devils really victims of their own endeavor. And Tyler Michel made something out of nothing there as he just walked right through. And let me tell you, it was not easy. Now it's, and it's turned over. Sloppy play, turnover, and quickly the Stingrays will make a chance. What a save! Stevie Lyle denies Kalmakoff his second goal of the night, and remember that save. And it's shot in. Weller touching it on into the corner. Coburn in behind his own goal. Matska's trying to chaperone him. Oh, and he's taking a penalty. You can see the free hand on Matska, and he's going to be called for it. And I said it was going to be a penalty with not much from the Devils that was going to warrant a call, and it's happened here. Darnell was waiting to call it, and Matska had the free hand, and he was being just a little too intense. And here's Adams stepping up in the rush, going forward, trying to get to the net and drive there. He's being held by Duel, and that's a penalty, and he does a great job, this Jared Adams. He senses the opportunity from the wide side, and Duel pulls out the lasso, and I would call that a little bit of the old Texas clothesline. It's a two-dog pack, and he's taken down from behind. He looked like he was doing a little bit of water skiing, but he gets himself back up and home and dry. He's trying to find this one now. He comes out of there, rolls. He could go to the net and stuff it, and Boucher follows it well. Adams trying to just get this Hull Stingrays defense a little bit unhinged, and Sladock now is always a little bit free with that right hand with the glove on, always interested in offering a right jab or two. Ben Davis now with a puck. Good block there from the Devils. Davis gets stripped from behind as he had a backpack on him, and it was mostly a Hull Stingrays player. This game looks like it's going to have a breakaway before you know it for the Hull Stingrays, and they're going to probably be in on Stevie Lyle. And Stevie Lyle's going to make a decision. He scores! Jared Adams back the other way, and it needed to be a goal, something like that, because I tell you, it wasn't coming the easy way. But the puck goes wide off the side of the goal. We mentioned it earlier. If you can't get it through the normal shooting lanes, you got to go wide of the mark and bounce on a rebound, and Jared Adams does just that. This game is level at 1. It was an awkward play, but Bannister's free hand was up on Sammy Smith's shoulder. And even though it was a little bit awkward, he still shouldn't have it there. Chance in front. Mark Smith cross-checks high. Lake getting his stick up. And last time I checked, Mark Smith didn't like wood in his teeth. Only beavers do. Beerbrier skating onto his backhand. He needs to control it and not give it up cheaply. Weller, Beerbrier, and somebody needs to stop and set it up. Pele does. McRae, scramble there, scores! It's John Pele! And a little bit of a hold, and he plays his ace. And he'll take that round mighty nicely. And John Pele doesn't need an invitation from there. And it is Stuart McRae. And it is Max Beerbrier with the assists on the play as well. Now through the neutral zone, these Devils are charging, and they've been released out of their shackles because they have been really taking the brunt of this Hull Stingrays smothering defensive blanket for the best part of 35 minutes. And now, oh, a little bit of a miscue from Dull. Dull, my affectionate pet name for the city of. Now there's going to be, it looks like certainly a discussion, and everybody getting up quickly. As now Stuart McRae on this draw, trying to win it. Duel with a move to get away, and that's a Tyler Michel sandwich, and that's a Cloutier surprise as he comes in and dumps Tyler Michel. That'll be the end of the second period. Cloutier, who never takes kindly to having his team end up on the wrong end of the stick on the physical side of the play. And now it's still going, and Jared Adams and Cloutier could very well go. It could break out here now. I think they're both going to resign themselves to just leaving it there, but Cloutier's worked up, and he's frustrated. His team had control for majority of this game, and he's trying to work up his team and get them sparked for this remaining third period and trying to lead from the front. You got to admire it. That's the end of 2 periods of play, and it's 2 for the Hull Stingrays. Or, sorry, my apologies, 2 for the Cardiff Devils, 1 for the Hull Stingrays after 2 periods of play. Sees that one safely off into the corner on the other side. Bannister working, and his stick up high on Hill. And Bannister with some cross-checks on Hill. Hill taking an exception. Those two will talk about it. Bannister wrapping up, looking to take the penalty, and Bannister, well, I would give him at least, well, an 8 on the diving scale. Depends if he was from an 11-meter platform or 7. I'm not sure exactly the international diving depths and heights, but that was close to embarrassing from an NHL defenseman who knows better than that. Both of them will go. And Kalmakoff does the Olay like a matador and sees the Raging Bull right through to the boards behind him. Silverthorne up over the line, and Adams gives him a little bit of stick work, and I think they're going to be penalized, the Devils. They are. And Jared Adams is going to be penalized for interference, and he was pretty aggressive on the hands of Silverthorne. It's like Coburn and Tendler. Turned over, foot race. Matt's got a breakaway from the red line in. He's in. Oh, what a goal. He sold it, and he was buying. Was Boucher, and he caught himself a dud on that deal as Matska knew exactly what he was doing. And he did the shoulder dip twice and ripped it to the bottom side of the net. And the Devils are up 3-1 on a shorthanded marker. And Stevie Lyle, who loves to play the puck, plays that one up off the glass, and it almost falls favorably for the Devils. They can't get out of the zone, though. Still inside. That's Esders leaving it back there for Cloutier. And there's quite a bit going on. And it's going to be a Stingrays penalty again, as the Stingrays look like they've just lost their nerve a little bit. And they're starting to get frustrated. And I think it's going to be, well, it's Jeremy Tendler, who sealed off the play by Bannister, and Bannister's showing more of that pedigree and more of that real class that I was looking to wait to see. Jared Adams is bouncing around. It's like a pinball machine in there. And Boucher sells it pretty good, but he's had his helmet knocked back, and he falls off the post, and he's hoping Darnell might have seen Finnerty interfering on him in front of the net. Finnerty was certainly close enough to see whether or not his pupils were dilating, but it is a scramble behind the goal. Down into the corner. Out front is Pele, and right into the chest of Boucher. I think it's still available. It is. They'll count it. Boucher thought he had it. Jean Pele, well, he thought otherwise. And it looked like Weller losing his patience with Sladok in front, but I think this goal is going to count. And Pele, as he so often does, I'll call him Jean Persistent Pele, as he gets rewarded. And it's a classic case of once, twice, 3 times a lady. And, well, he leads a charmed life, does he, John Pele? Richardson does well, a little bit of a touch, and Michel's done well. He gets the hands up high, and he gets hit hard. I'm surprised there's not a penalty, but he's got away from it, Tyler Michel. Look at that move. That's a beauty. Oh, no way that's a penalty. There's no way that that's a penalty. Tyler Michel got worked twice, and I would have thought that he should have had a penalty against him. But now, you know what it is? It's a guy that basically is doing what he wants in the Elite League this year. That's Drew Bannister, my apologies. And the Stingrays can't get to it. It's Ryan Finnerty. Oh, Finnerty gets dumped, and that's a goal. And it's going to be a penalty, though, against. Bannister is going to be penalized. And Bannister with the big glove swish in the direction of Tom Darnell. Shows his disapproval of that call. Weller is now giving it some. And he's losing his patience. And the fans are responding nicely to it. Yuzi Verta, somebody's going to get involved. And Sladok comes in, and I don't think Sladok wants to know, or maybe he does. Finnerty talking with Sladok. And I think it just needs to happen here right now. No more conversation. 7:35 to go. Here we go. It's Finnerty and Sladok. So they squared off nicely, and they've got quite a bit of space and time. And Finnerty will go left, I think. Sladok's ready for this one. Finnerty can go from both sides. And they're just looking for a position here to come in tight. Referees will allow it to happen. They need to allow it to happen here now. Let it go. And Finnerty, I think, will lead with a right here. Sladok is pounced and ready. He's perched. And I think Sladok can probably throw them pretty good, too. Sladok has got that right going. There it is. There's the right. He's quick on it, and he's going quickly. Finnerty's down low. He wants to come up. And he's able to work himself out. Sladok's got a pretty good wrap around his right shoulder. And now they'll muscle. Finnerty will work in. There's one to the ear. Sladok comes back, though. And good maneuvering by both these fighters, just trying to release themselves out of that entanglement. Now Sladok's free, and he's able to probably find a little bit of an advantage at the end, and balance takes them both down. And the game was bubbling and boiling to a point where somebody needed to take the pot off the boiler. And Ryan Finnerty has just done that, in fact, with Sladok from the Hull Stingrays. And maybe this game will settle, or maybe it will escalate. But both guys are going to sit down for 2+2 minimum. And a little bit of extra entertainment here tonight for everybody. And everybody always enjoys a good fight. Now, I'm not sure we should be saying those things, but we know it to be true. And Matska getting wrapped up there. And Boucher gets the stick. And Boucher reacting to the Matska shot. Oh, Weller! It's not going to count, though, because the goal's off. Boucher wasn't ready. He was still wrapped up in the non-call that Darnell didn't make. Boucher felt as though Matska did interfere with him on the stick. Weller rips one from the blue line, and it goes right through Boucher, and the floodgates look to be open, but the net was off, and the goal disallowed as a result.